Hello and welcome to another episode of Cards Unbarred. My name is Ryan, and in this video, I'm going to show you the 2 to 6 player card game, Dr. Seuss Grinch Grow Your Heart, designed by Funko Games. The components in Grinch Grow Your Heart consists of 48 numbered cards, numbered 1 through 6, in 4 suits: wreaths, ornaments, presents, and noise. There are 2 copies of every number within each suit. You'll also notice on one copy of the 1 and 2 in every suit has a +5 bonus with a suit associated with it. And one of the number 3 cards has a 10 bonus point with 3 of the associated suit on it. This will make more sense during scoring, but something to keep in mind throughout gameplay. The 4, 5, and 6 of all 4 suits do not have any bonus icons on them. The game also comes with a Grinch tile that has a number 3 on his heart, and 2 additional heart tiles with a 4 and 5 on them. And lastly, there is a score pad to keep track of score throughout the game. In Grinch Grow Your Heart, players will be drawing cards from the deck or from other players' discard piles, depending on if you're the Grinch, discarding back down, and doing this until you have 5 cards in hand, attempting to score specific meld types to score the most points. After the determined number of rounds based on player count, whoever has the most points wins. To set up for the game, first take one of the scoring sheets and write all players' names at the top, and place it off to the side for now. Next, shuffle all 48 playing cards and leave them as a stack face down in the middle of the table. And finally, determine who the oldest player at the table is and give them both the Grinch tile and the 2 heart tokens. To start the round, deal 2 cards to each player from the top of the deck. Players may look at the cards that were dealt to them, but make sure to keep them hidden from all other players. Then each round will be played over 3 turns, with each player drawing 2 cards and discarding 1. Depending on if you're a Who player or the Grinch player will determine how you draw those cards. So first, the 2 Who players will take their turn, then the Grinch player will take their turn. If you're a Who player, you will draw 2 cards from the top of the deck and add them to your hand. So let's come look at Cindy's hand down here. She has a 4 and a 6, and we draw 2 cards from the deck. And we must choose one of these cards to discard as a face-up discard pile in front of us. Now, the other Who player is also doing this at the same time, looking at their 4 and discarding 1 down. Now, I'll go over what the different scoring criteria are in the scoring section shortly, but for now, let's decide to get rid of this 6 presents. Once both players have discarded their card, then the Grinch player will take their turn. The Grinch player is also going to draw 2 cards, but they actually have a choice from either drawing randomly from the deck or from the top face-up card from another player's discard pile. This can also include their own discard pile, which they don't have yet. So in the first round, it's going to be, or the first turn, it's going to be from the 2 Who players. And when you make this draw, it can be done in any combination. So they could draw the first card from the deck, look at it, and realize it might be helpful with something else, and decide to take one of the other cards. Or they could choose to draw the second card from the draw pile, or take the second one from the other player's discard pile. Either way, once they have their 4 cards in hand, they will then discard 1 down and end their turn. All players should have 3 cards in hand, which is notified by the Grinch starting tile that shows the number 3. That is essentially what these are doing. They are reminding players at their hand limit. So at the start of the next turn, you'll put the 4 over top of the Grinch tile, growing his heart 1 size. And this will be a reminder at the end of this turn, you should only have 4 cards in hand. It goes back to the Who players. They will look at their hand, draw 2 cards from the deck, and then choose to discard any 1 card of their choice. And again, other player drawing 2 cards, looking at their hand. I'm just doing this quickly, and discarding down. Comes back to the Grinch player. They will draw 2 cards, either from top cards of the discard pile or randomly from the deck in any combination, until they have 4 cards left in hand. You'll then add the 5 token on top, take one more turn so all players have a total of 5 cards in hand, and then you proceed to scoring. To complete scoring, each player will reveal all 5 cards they have in their hand and choose one of the following categories to pick as their scoring. Going from top to bottom on the scoring card, we have the 4 different suits, wreaths, noise, ornaments, and presents. To score those, you simply look at your hand and count up the total value of that suit to score for that appropriate suit. So if the Grinch player, Mayor Who over here, wanted to score the wreaths, it would be 7 points for those. If Cindy over here wanted to score noise, it'd be 7, 10, 11 points. And you would essentially do that for all of the 4 suits. Now, each round, though, you only pick one of the scoring criterias. So if you wanted to score noise over here, you wouldn't score anything else, you just choose noise. So each player is picking one category to score. Now, just going over the last 3 scoring options, we have a rainbow, which is the highest of each color. So you look at all 4 of the suits, pick one card from that, add those all together, and that's your score. So in this case, it'd be 4 and 2. There's only 2 suits, so 6 points. Whereas over here, it'd be 6, 11, 17. The next one is match number. If you have 3, 4, or 5 of the same number in your hand, as the mayor has over here, you would be able to score 10, 20, or 30 points. And the last one is a run in order, where the suits don't matter. So just have a 4 or 5 card run to get 15 or 25 points. So looking at all 3 players' hands here real quick, let's see what they could score to get the most points. Cindy down here has a run of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is probably going to be their most points because that's 15. If we added up their noise, which we just did earlier, was 7, 10, that's 11, which is less. And presents are only 2. They don't have any wreaths or ornaments. The highest of each color was only 6. And they only have 2 of a kind, which isn't even enough to score. So their 4-card run is their best option, which is 15 points. But now you need to look to see if they scored any bonus points as well. In the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see the specific suit that's required to be in your 5 cards to be eligible to score those points. Now, each bonus card can be scored only one time, but you can use the same card to score it multiple. So in this case, Cindy doesn't actually have any of her bonuses. This one requires 3 wreath cards, which she has 0, and this requires 1 ornament, which she has 0. But let's just say this card was in her 5 cards. There is 1 ornament which satisfies both of these, so that would be 5 points and 5 points for an additional 10 on top of the 15 from the option she chose. But in our current situation, it's just the run of 4, so Cindy would get 15 points. We then come over to Max. Max only has a 3-card run, 4, 5, 6. The ornaments is 9, noise is 11, wreaths is 6, and no presents. The match, there's only 2 of a number, so it looks like we're going to be going with rainbow for Max, which, as we did earlier, was 17 with the 2 6s and the 5. There's no bonuses on any of the cards, so Max is just going to get 17 points for the rainbow. Finally, we come over to the Grinch player. So the mayor is looking at their hand, and they have 4 1s, which is the match number. 4 of a kind is 20 points, and there are 2 bonus cards. This one requires a present, which they have, and this one requires a wreath, which they have. So 10 additional points for a total of 30. Now, each player chose one option for this round. In a 3-player game, there are 6 rounds in total. Each player is going to be the Grinch 2 times. So the Grinch will get passed to the next player in clockwise order. You'll take your 3 turns, drawing, discarding until you have 5 in hand, pass the Grinch, pass, pass, pass until each player has been hit twice. But every round, you must pick a new category that you have not scored in a previous round. So Cindy can no longer do runs. Even if she got a better 5-card run and better bonuses, you have to pick something else. So as rounds go on, you have less and less options available to you to what you actually want to pick. After all rounds are played, whoever has the most points wins. And that's everything you need to know to play Dr. Seuss Grinch Grow Your Heart. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Thanks so much for watching.